All right, welcome. Hey, it's Monday, and I'm going back to some Friday stuff because I realized that I wanted to make sure we were good on this. And yeah, so on this problem on Friday, so this question pops up in day 8 of lesson 3. Okay, in day 8 of lesson 3, there's this question. In day 9, I got a very similar question, so it'll be all the same, techniques that I'm going to show you right now, just in a different day. All right, so. That's going to be that. All right, where do I put myself? I'll put myself over here. That works. All right, great. All right, use the given yearly payment schedule to construct a scatter plot using the data points, the year, loan balance, and a spreadsheet okay, so use a spreadsheet or your calculator. Upload the spreadsheet or a picture of the scatter plot on your calculator. Okay, so basically this is all you need to do here is create a scatter plot. Create a scatter plot. You can use your calculator, you can use a spreadsheet, you can use the little Desmos link that I've got here. So I got to show you how to do this 3 different ways. You only have to do one of them. I think I recommend you doing the calculator. I think that's what everyone liked the most. So I'm going to show you step 1, how to do this on the calculator. All right, first we're going to press the stat button because it's like we're going to create a stat plot or a scatter plot. All right, so stat button, I want to edit. I want to edit a list, and therefore I'm just going to press enter since the one edit selection has already been selected for me. All right, so I've got no data in my calculator thus far. I need to set L1 up as the year. That's going to be my x-axis. And I need to set L2 up as the loan balance. All right, I want a scatter plot of the loan balance, and I need to show that over time. All right, so L1 is going to look just like this column does here. I'm going to have to start with a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, that's list 1. Enter. All right, list 1 is done. I've got 0 through 10 in list 1. Once I'm done with list 1, I can press the right button here and I can move over to list 2. Now I need to add my loan balances. Now, I am not going to add the coinage here. You're going to have to add the coinage. All right, you're going to have to add the coinage so that your regression will turn out right. I'm not going to do that because this is for demonstration purposes. So do not use the answers that I'm about to come up with. Don't use those answers for your response since I'm not using the coinage. All right, and that will affect your regression. You're going to want to use the coinage. All right, this 9,319 would have 48 cents attached to it, just like that over here. I'm not doing that because I want to just show you the technique, but not the answer. Right, or not the exact answer. This answer will come really close. So I'm just putting in the whole dollar amount. I'm not even going to bother rounding again because I don't want this to come out perfect or near perfect. I just want to show you the technique of how to enter data into your calculator and run a scatter plot, and then I'll show you how to run regression in a second too. All right, there's 8. Okay, I got 2,682. There we go, 1,394. And last but not least, 0. Right? Okay, great. Press enter. There. All my data in list 2 is done, which corresponds to all my loan balance amounts. All right? Once you have L1 and L2 in your calculator, notice there's this little blue thing called stat plot on the calculator, right? It's in blue, so I'm going to press the blue second button to get there. All right? Blue, second, y equals. Gives me stat plots. I'm going to turn on a stat plot. I'm going to turn on plot 1, because what the heck. All right, so I'm going to press enter because plot 1 is already selected. All right, I want to turn it on. Right now, the selection is off. I have to press enter to turn it on. There, now it's on. This is the scatter plot type. I could choose a line graph. These are the things I want. Scatter plots already selected for me, so I don't need to change anything there. I want my my x-axis to be list 1. I want my my y-axis to be list 2. And you can pick whichever one of these you want. I'm going to pick, what the heck, I'll pick the little dot. I like the little dot the best, but you can pick whatever one. It doesn't really matter. All right, then we're going to go over and hit the graph button because now we want our calculator to graph this thing. And you click that and like, oh, nothing happened. What the heck? Well, it's because the scales aren't adjusted yet we would need to zoom out a little bit to see this. Well, I mean, I could manually zoom out, but there's a great thing called Zoom Stat, which will do this for us. Press the zoom button, and then down here, I think it's number 9. There it is, number 9, is Zoom Stat. That will like give us the perfect zoom and window for our data, right? So it'll do that, and then looky there, all right? Looky there. We have, oh, why is that little dot off? Did I goof that up? It's just odd that that dot's way off. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my 6 or my 7 is off. Let me just go back to my list to see how badly I goofed that up. 5, 9, 8, 3, 4, 6. I don't see any goof up. That's just goofy. It just looks weird. Like it shouldn't be there. Oh well. Well, anyway. See how that one just doesn't seem like it works. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna let it go. Maybe it has something to do with the coinage. If I put the coinage in, I just remember this stat plot being a lot nicer looking. Anyway, that's fine. How to take a picture of this? All right, so you need to take a picture of this. One way is right. You can press like the control and the F5 Windows button on your Chromebook will take a snapshot of your whole screen, and then you just save that and then add the file right here. On these TI-84 emulators, sometimes you can press File and you can take a screenshot, right? And then we'll call this, scatter plot. And then now I have that saved as a GIF, or a screenshot, saved as a screenshot. What did it save it as? It's saved as a PNG, portable network graphics. What's another way? If you have a snippet tool, right? There's various snipping tools, and you could like take a snippet if you're on a Windows machine, and then you could save this file, save as, and then you could then upload that file. What are your other options? You could take a picture of this with your phone, I don't have a phone on me, but you can take a picture of the screen with your phone and then put that to your Google Drive and then upload it from your Google Drive. So there's lots of different ways to, you can click My Drive, and if you upload it into your Google Drive, it'll be right there, right? All the different ways to create a stat plot. All right, so that's the stat plot piece. And since I've already got it in the calculator, let me talk about the regressions. All right, to run a regression, so next piece says write a linear regression. Well, I've already got my data in my calculator. To run a regression, I'm going to press this stat button again. I'm going to move over to the calc menu, and then right here, this number 4 option is linreg. Linreg. It stands for linear regression. All right, linreg. If I click enter there, and yes, I want my X list to be L1. I want my Y list to be L2. I'm going to press enter a few times to calculate, and there I have it. I have a linreg. And so again, this is not the answer, but here's what you want to write. You want to write, Y equals, you'd stick the number here for A and for A, right? Y equals negative 995 times X plus 10,540, right? I'm going to have to move things around in order to write on these both at the same time, right? So if I was to interpret this, I'd say Y equals, and I'm not going to type A, I'm going to type the number that A is equal to on the calculator, right? Negative 995, and just round to the nearest hundredth for yours, all right? Round to the nearest hundredth. I'll take rounding to the nearest unit too, but I like to make you practice rounding the nearest hundredth because it's like to the nearest cent often in this class. And then 10,540, right? And if I was rounding the nearest hundredth here, I'd add a 0.09 as well. But that's an idea of what it's going to look like, right? It's going to look like a linear function, right? The next question says, write a quadratic regression. That's pretty simple, actually. Stat, calc, and then see this says quadreg. It's a quadratic regression. Quadratic regression. All right. I still want my X list to be L1, still want the Y list to be L2. I press enter a few times, and now I have a quadratic regression. So here, I'm going to put Y equals, instead of doing A, I'm going to type in, if I was to round to the nearest hundredth, again, you're not going to want to use these answers because I didn't put in the right numbers. So negative 36 point, 17 times X squared. I got to put an x squared in there, plus b, which is negative 633, negative 600, yeah, negative 633.49, rounding to the nearest hundredths, right? And then plus 9,997.47, rounding to the nearest hundredth. So this is what your answer would kind of look like if you were typing it in here. That's what I'm looking like. But of course, these aren't going to be quite right because I didn't put in these cents in there. All right, and then last but not least, the cubic regression. The cubic regression, I'm going to go again, go stat, calc, and there is a cubic regression function, cubic reg, right? Boop, 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 boop. I press enter a few times. I'll get a cubic regression. Y equals, right? A is negative 0.22 times x raised to the third power. Notice it's raised to the third power there, plus b, which is negative 32.82 times x raised to the second power. Notice that's b raised to the second power now. Remember, a cubic is where the variable is raised to a third power. So, all right, now I got c times x. Well, c is negative 646.28, rounding nearest hundredths, times x. And then last but not least, plus 10,000. 10,005, oops, 10,005.52. Why is this cool? Why is this cool that you can run a regression? If you can, what you're doing here is you're showing me you can run regressions on data. What's cool about this is I can put this regression back into my calculator, and I didn't ask you to do this time because I didn't think we have enough time, but 0.22 times x raised to the, oops, I didn't want that. Oops, I didn't want that. Nope. I tried to use, there we go. Raised to, no, I didn't want that either. Stop. Okay, I'm gonna try again. 0.22 times x raised to the power of 3. All right, good. Plus negative 32.82 times x raised to the power of 2. Back down. Plus negative 646.28 times just plain old x, plus 10,005 and 52 cents. All right, so I put that into my y equals, my y1 in my calculator, and now when I graph this thing, ooh, look at that shininess. Look at that shininess, how that cubic runs right through that data. So that's the idea of being able to run a regression, is that you can find the function notation to create the line that runs through all those dots. And that gets to be fancy, because once you can do that, you can make predictions. And when you're talking about science and engineering and stuff, that's a valuable skill to be able to have. All right, so this is how to do it on the calculator. I now have to make another video on how to show you how to do this on, say, Desmos. Next time. Move me and turn this off.